So the first card is defend yourself. Make sure you're watching your back. Make sure that, nobody's taking advantage of you. You're in a management position, so, all your decisions are being questioned. So make sure that you are defending yourself, standing up for whatever you believe in. And there's also a need to budget, so make sure you're not overspending what your finances as well. In the past, you've been feeling very, very isolated and very unsupported. And you need to take, have some self-belief. You need to have some self-belief and have some confidence and take responsibility for your actions. So going into the future, you've got effective time management. Make sure you're not procrastinating. If you have something, set a goal, set a target. Make sure that you're following, these plans that you have in place. So you need to make sure that you have some plans in place, especially if you're in a management position. Make sure you're managing yourself first effectively before you go and manage others, because you might have to stand up and explain why you're doing things and need to defend yourself. And a lot of abundance and wealth and growth coming in for you in the future. So those are the energies for those 2 weeks. So this is the Bright Idea deck. I have put it in the description box. It is quite a rare deck, but I put in the links so you can actually go and see the deck. So you've got the optimism card, which is the star card. So this is showing that you're in the limelight, that you are taking center stage. It's also an optimism card, which means that you need to be very optimistic and see the bigger picture of things, you're getting a lot of divine guidance as well. So there is a lot of help coming in for you as well with this card, the optimism card. So you are, with the star card, communicating with a lot of people as well. There might be a lot of international communication, but it also, communicating over the internet as well. You can see there's a lot of stars over there, communicating with very important people, but also needing to be very optimistic about what you're doing. And that energy of optimism, you need to convey that to people that you're working with as well. So what's going on for you? You can see you've got the Magician card over here. So you're very, 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 very busy right now, doing lots of things, trying to make sure that your home life and your work life are in a balance with each other. You might be communicating, I said, with a lot of people on an international front. There's a lot of deadlines and time limitations being put in front of you. You're having to complete projects very quickly. You're very stressed out. There's lots of cups of coffee being drank over here. You might be doing a lot of travel. You've got Hermes wings on the shoes over here. So having to work very quickly, and you've got Mercury over here, so a lot of communication going on over here with this Mercury card. And you're extremely busy, so you're doing lots of projects up in the air and juggling a lot of things as well. Also, the Hermit card, the Magician card, it's a capability card, so you're very, very good at what you're doing, and you're doing a lot of things at this particular moment. It's a card that rules manifestation, so whatever you're thinking is coming into existence at the moment. So be positive with this card, even though you're so busy. So you're bringing a lot of light and influence into the situation. Maybe some people are not happy about how you're doing things, but you yourself are shining out quite brightly with this illumination card. So whatever you're doing with this Magician card, a lot of people are taking note of it, and you are getting center stage. You're bringing a lot of brand new ideas, and you're changing a lot of things as well. So there's a lot of energy that's associated with that. So in the past, you've got the irrationality card, which is the Five of Swords in this place, in this deck over here. A lot of things gone awry. It seems like, there was a lot of confusion. You were not taking charge of the situation. People were telling you what to do. There was a lot of arguments and problems that you were dealing with in this past year. So you've come out of a situation of a lot of chaos. And it seems like that cycle came to an end. You finished a project. So whatever project you were doing, there was no leadership almost in that particular project, but that has come to an end, and you managed to package that project and send it off. So, you put a lot of energy into it. You finished it off. It came to an end, and that was that. But you're still very, very busy with this Magician card, and but it's given you, whatever project you had gave you an edge. It seems to have been very successful in its conclusion, because it seems like you've gotten center stage, you've gotten you brought the light back into the situation, and it seems like you've gotten a position of leadership due to that project. Now, in your mind, you're still very, very, excuse me, confused in a sense. You haven't prioritized. It seems like you're still all over the place. You've got a little bit of lack of self-confidence going on over there. You're worried about things. You haven't put out a definite plan. You haven't made plans. You're still winging it a little bit over here, because the moon is about all these things are in confusion. The money is confused, your home life is confused, whatever you're doing about, you haven't got it together. So you need to synthesize some kind of plan, some kind of grounding. You need to ground yourself. You might be so happy that everything worked out, and you're just going on that energy, having completed something, being happy about it, but are not having any definite plans. So you need to actually do that. You need to settle yourself down. You need to bring that energy of confusion, or that being very high down into a very grounded kind of way, so that you can make definite plans and move to the future. So in your mind, it's pretty confused at the moment. You might be a bit depressed as well about something ending, and you're having to start something as well. And also this, the full moon tends to blind you in a sense, in a way. So you need to actually ground yourself. And this leads to, if you don't do that, you're going to end up feeling very overwhelmed. Things are going to overwhelm you. This is the card of the 10 of Cups, being overwhelmed. So you've got the moon over here. That's what's going on in your mind, a lot of confusion. But you've also got the overwhelmed card over here going into the future, the 10 of Cups. So you really do need to settle down. It seems like you have been maybe you're very, very happy. Maybe there's a lot of, because you're doing so many things, it might be overwhelming you because you don't have a plan in place. You need to settle down, make some concrete plans, and follow that down. You have to have a strategy. When you get this overwhelmed card, it's doing things, at the seat of your pants, and not actually thinking about how you're going to do it in a very logical, structured way. And if you don't do that, then while you're trying to do all of this with the Magician card, it's going to just suddenly overtake you, and things, you're going to start putting off things, and those things are going to creep up on you, and you're going to end up with a flood of things happening because you didn't have a proper plan in place. So you really need to get on top of things over here. So you yourself are working pretty hard. Whatever you're doing, you've got all the tools, all the everything that you need to sort out your projects that you're doing. You're very, very skilled at what you're doing, and it's very intricate work. Whatever you're doing, whatever projects you're up to, very intricate work. You can see this woman is working with a needle, even though she's got all these hammers and chisels going on around. The right tools for the job, and the synthesis card is the Temperance card. So it is very, very important for you to balance yourself, to find a middle of the road way of doing things, and it's also to take advice and to be structured. So it seems like there's a lot of confusion going on around you. You seem to be dealing with mostly confusion. And this Temperance card is saying that you need to take a good, hard, long look at whatever you're doing and make a plan. You need to rope in all this energy that is all confused around you, rope it in, and make sure that you are now concentrating and focusing on that particular task that you're doing. So a need to settle down, and a need to rope in all this energy that is going on, all this confused energy. Otherwise, you're just going to end up being overwhelmed, and people are going to be pointing fingers at you and saying that you're responsible for everything that went wrong. So you need to actually make a plan and get things sorted out. You've got the Restlessness card going around you. You seem to want to do more and more and more and more, and you don't seem to have enough training to do more. So somebody around you seems to want to rope in that energy as well, and is telling you that even though you are feeling as though you want to jump in and do something new, that you need training, further training for this particular job. If you don't, you'll end up drowning in it. And this card over here of feeling overwhelmed is almost, you're starting to, the water's starting to rise, and maybe you're going to end up in a position, because these cards are both standing next to each other. So you need some kind of further training or some kind of further plan, something that prevents you from drowning in that situation, because some things, things are going to just start accumulating or piling up, and it's going to end up meaning that you're going to be the one that's going to be in danger or in trouble. So you're coming into a phase where if you don't rope it in now, if you don't nip it in the bud now, you're going to end up in trouble where everything just overwhelms you, because these cards are sitting next to each other here. So you're already confused as to what to do, what to do in this particular situation. You've got the card of restriction and you've got a blindfold on. So you're not seeing things. There's something that you're deliberately missing. You don't want to see it. But you need that information in order for you to stop hitting brick walls and in order for you to move forward. So there's a lot of confusion going around. You've got this maze over here. And in order for you to see it, you need to take these blindfolds off. So you need some kind of information. Some kind of intervention is needed. And it's something to do with information. Because this card that you've got Gemini here, which is ruled by Mercury, talking about information. So some information, some maybe further studying, further training, something that you need to get into your life in order for you to move forward and for you to not be confused anymore. So going into the future, you've got the advancement card, and this is the Chariot card, so a need to take control. With the Chariot card, you can see this person's, breaking down all the barriers and moving forward, and no one said they've taken control. You do need to take control of the situation. In the traditional tarot, the Chariot card has got two horses, and both horses are, black and white horse usually, and both are moving, or rather, they're usually sphinxes. But anyway, they are two horses or sphinxes moving in two different directions. They're doing two different things. That means that, excuse me, if things, circumstances or things around you that are not going in the same direction ought to be roped in, and you need to exert your authority and force on them and steer them in the right direction in order for you to move that cart forward or that carriage forward. With this, she's got a some kind of steering device over there. So you need to steer it into place, or you'll end up going around and doing, putting your efforts or energies into something, and it won't produce any results. It will produce more destruction than it will produce results. So even though she's taking charge, she doesn't seem to be able to control this particular cart, because it's going and breaking down this fence over here. Now, you do want to break down barriers, and you do want to be able to move forward, and you do want to break down boundaries, but you need to do it in a controlled manner. And it seems like with all these cards of confusion going on around you, and not having any kind of proper direction, you'll end up breaking down fences that you don't need to break down. You'll be ending up destroying things that you don't need to destroy. So there is really a need to steer this machine in the right direction. So you need to make a plan. You need to have plans in place in order for you to make an advancement. And you are in a position of authority. So you're getting that position as an emperor. You're a person who is in authority, making the rules, and people are listening to you. So you are taking control, and there is a need with this Chariot in order for you to move forward in a positive way, rather than having expending energy on things that are not going to work out, or things that are going to cause destruction, or things that are going to cause you to be feeling very overwhelmed. You need to take authority. You need to take charge of that situation, and you need to do that by planning. This is the most important message that's coming through. And if you do that, you will be able to control the direction. You've got controlling direction. You see this person taking control of that ball and then reaching victory. So whatever is going on around you, you need to stop, take a time out, look at whatever's going on, make some definitive plans, and then move forward. You can't wing it. You've been winging it a lot, but with a magician, it's almost as though you've got energies of being overwhelmed. And if you carry on in that kind of way, you will not have good leadership. So in order to have good leadership, you need to have authority and exert that authority, and you have to do it by having a good plan, and also not rushing into things. With this restless card, you can see this child wants to rush into the water, and they themselves can't swim because they've got this rubber thingy around their waist, and they'll end up drowning. So you need to have a plan in place. You need to set some goals and be realistic. And that is the thing that you need to do in order for you to make this project, or whatever you do, make it successful. So I'm just going to draw some cards from the Think and Grow Rich Prosperity cards. And the first card is great leaders. So you may as well know that every great leader from the dawn of civilization down to the present was a dreamer. So you have to have a vision. That's important. And in order to become a great leader, you have to have a plan. A plan and a vision is very, very important in order for you to move forward. Procrastination robs you of opportunities. So in order for you to create opportunities, you've got to stop procrastinating, stop putting things off, because you can see this person's been putting everything off and now everything is flooded and they're feeling overwhelmed. So you need to be very, very proactive in what you do. And the last card is start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command. Better tools will be found as you go along. So whatever you have in place right now, start using that to create your plans and move forward. Focus on your work, and whatever you need will come your way as you need it. So important thing is to focus on your work. Stop procrastinating to create your opportunities, and think like a great leader, because you are in a position, or you will be getting a position of authority. And if you are overwhelmed and if you are not trained up for that job, as a great leader, you will be able to lead your team to success. But you have to take control of this energy with the Chariot card. You need to do that. This is very, very important that you take control of this energy, because if you don't, you need to get your mind in order first. So, even if you have to do meditation or speak to somebody or get some kind of information, you need to do that because your mind is a bit confused and it's now being reflected out in your work situation. So whatever confusion is going on in your head is coming out in your work. It's manifesting in your work. And especially with the Magician card, what you think in your head is what you're going to be manifesting. So if you're confused in your head, you're going to be manifesting confusion in the work that you do. So if you have a proper plan in place, then you can't manifest confusion, because you only have proper plans in place in your head, and then you will be able to manifest order. So if you think in a disorderly way, that is what you will manifest, something disorderly. And when it's disorderly, you will be overwhelmed. So start thinking clearly and start making plans. Do a pros and cons list. Make some kind of plan so that you can move forward. So you've got the 10 of Autumn, which says take steps to ensure financial security of your children or loved ones, making wise investments if planning for retirement, honoring family matters. So with the 10 of Autumn, it's a lot of work, but there might be an end of an old job and moving on to something new. There could be some kind of money coming your way. The 10 of Autumn is achieving really the top of your goal. And then you've got the 9 of Autumn. Reward yourself for all your hard work. Be happy and successfully self-employed, cherishing your time alone. So you are working pretty hard, getting that financial independence. And with the 9 of Autumn, which is the 9 of Pentacles, there's a lot of recognition. You are a self-made person and working pretty well. But you need to also take control of that situation and be very organized. The 9 of Pentacles always talks about organization and self-discipline. And then you've got the Prince of Winter, which says seek out an intellectual solution for your problem, the need to act quickly and decisively, sudden or unexpected changes. So some information coming in, and with the Prince of Winter, it's usually it's the Knight of Swords usually. And it talks about some kind of legal information or official information coming your way. And you need to be very focused. So somebody bringing in some kind of legal decision, some kind of legal papers that you need to sort out. So there's some kind of legality that's going to be involved in the work situation. Maybe signing new contracts. You could be going, you're dealing with some kind of official news that is coming in for you, some kind of official message coming in for you. But a need to be very, very organized. With this 9 of Autumn, it's about practicality and having plans. The Pentacle suits always talks about being practical and being organized and being very down to earth about what you're doing. So there could be money coming in for you, some kind of payoff coming in for you with this 10 of Autumn over here. But it also could be the ending of an old cycle as far as work goes and beginning something new. And something new where you are very, very independent and have authority in your hands with this 9 of Autumn. So just know that you need to get everything roped in, make yourself make a plan, focus, get rid of anything that is not serving you. So if the tools are not working for you, get rid of them, because you have the tools in hand. You need a needle to sew this quilt, not a drill or a hammer. So you have the tools that you have in your hand. Don't focus on using the correct things for the job, and make sure that you have plans in place, because that is the thing that's going to prevent any kind of confusion and prevent you from feeling overwhelmed. So I hope that this reading has resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments if it has. Thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Goodbye.